For this video, I'm going to answer a very popular question regarding DistroKid, and that is, can you upload cover songs to DistroKid and release them on iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, etc., etc.? And the answer is yes. So let's say if you do a cover song of Bohemian Rhapsody, so you record the drums, the guitar, the vocals, the keys, everything yourself, can you release it on DistroKid? The answer is yes. Now, one thing I have to say is that you have to record everything yourself or get royalty-free samples. You can't, for example, get the instrumental of Bohemian Rhapsody and then record the vocals yourself and then put it together. You have to basically make everything yourself or get it royalty-free, meaning you have all the rights to it. Now, here's how you do it. So I'm going to go onto distrokid.com. It's automatically going to load my dashboard anyway, but I'll show you here. And then you're going to go to upload. So let's say you're like, all right, I just, crushed it with this Bohemian Rhapsody cover. And I will say, if you're doing a cover of Bohemian Rhapsody, it better be good, right? So you're going to have album cover. You're going to input all this stuff. Then you're going to type in Bohemian Rhapsody here. And you notice when it goes to songwriter, you're going to click another artist wrote it. It's a cover song. You're going to click this. Then if you notice, there's a bunch of stuff that pops up. I highly suggest reading this through very, very specifically. Now, I'm going to briefly skim over this and explain a couple different things, but I highly suggest doing this on your own time and really reading the nitty-gritty fine terms. Now, one, cover songs is okay, right? Like I said, you can upload cover songs on DistroKid. Second thing, sampling and remixes are probably not okay. What this basically is saying is, look, you have to make sure everything in that recording you have created or you have the right. So let's say you get a drum loop off Splice Sounds. Well, that's a little bit different, right? I mean, you purchased it legally, you have the legal rights to it, so you can use it in a track, right? Especially if it's a cover. However, if, let's say, like I mentioned, you get the instrumental from Bohemian Rhapsody, yeah, maybe you recorded the vocals yourself, but because you're just ripping their instrumental, not gonna fly, right? Which is why they say sampling and remixing not okay. The only kind of gray area with sampling is if you actually have the rights to that sample that you legally purchased, okay? Next thing is, DistroKid will secure a license on your behalf via a third-party vendor. Now, as you can imagine, there are this gets super technical, way beyond the scope of this video. But as you can imagine, when you do a cover of a song, the legal rules and the whole business aspects around that get unbelievably technical. So the good thing is DistroKid will say, hey, look, we'll just deal with this for you, right? They're going to have to go through Harry Fox Agency or the HFA, and there's a bunch of different things here, as you can say, like per U.S. copyright law, cover song licenses only provide legal coverage if they're, right? So there's a lot of tricky things when it comes to this. Again, I highly suggest reading all of this yourself, kind of on your own time. But basically, DistroKid is going to have to do a little work to make sure that you can release this cover, you can get money from it, you can make money from it, but it's not a simple process, right? Which is why they're going to say, DistroKid will automatically deduct the legally mandated fee of 9.1 cents per song sold in the United States from your earnings and send it to HFA, who sends it to the original songwriter. You'll get 100% of the rest. What this means is that, let's say you sell, you release a Bohemian Rhapsody cover, you write everything yourself, everything's from scratch, you then release it. Anytime someone buys it, 9.1 cents of that will be sent to Queen, or to whoever basically has the rights to Queen songs, and then you'll get 100% of the rest, right? So remember, this is because, as you can imagine, because you're basically doing a cover of their song, it makes sense that the artist should get some of that revenue, right? And they're only getting 9.1 cents of that. Then, it says that DistroKid charges a fee of $1 per month, or essentially $12 a year, to manage this cover song for you. And as it says, we will obtain licenses, pay the original songwriters every month, and do things described here and here. Again, this is very, very nitty-gritty now. I do suggest reading all of this stuff when it comes to Section 115. And as you can imagine, all of this copyright law. I mean, you don't have to read the entire thing, because as you can imagine, this is a lot of stuff here. But I do suggest doing some research, right? You do want to be aware, because when you release a cover song, it's a very great area when it comes to copyright law and all the business aspects and who gets paid and what and everything. So you may be saying, oh, Mark, they're taking a fee of $1 a month or $12 a year to this for me. I promise you, if you tried to do this on your own, it would be way more of a nightmare. So paying literally $1 a month is such a small fee for DistroKid to do everything for you. You literally give them $1 or 4 quarters, which you can find on the street or something like that. You give that to DistroKid. They do all the legwork for you. You don't even have to worry about anything. And then obviously, lastly, you have original artist, songwriter, and original song title. Then you lastly have to check this, which it says this track does not sample or remix another artist recording. Like I said a few times already in this video, you basically have to make sure that you're not ripping off somebody's drum loops or piano loops or whatever the loops are or samples are or whatever that you do not have the rights to, right? If you're doing a cover song, like I said, you either have to A, really record everything yourself, which is what most people do, which is what I suggest you do as well. Or B, if you are going to get some samples, you have to get them royalty-free, that you have the legal rights to, like I said, via a database like Splice Sounds or something along those lines. But anyway, that's basically how you do it. So to answer, the main question of this video, one, yes, you can release cover songs on DistroKid. Here's how you do it. And even though this may seem very, very technical, and don't get me wrong, the nitty-gritty and what's going on kind of in the back end is pretty technical, but the great part about DistroKid, and this is obviously another reason why I love them, is that they do make this very easy. You do have to kind of understand your legal rights, like I've been mentioning so many times in this video, and I do suggest doing your own research. But once, basically, you understand that, all you really need to do is input all the information here, just put the artist name, the song title, click this, and that's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. All you're going to be giving up is, remember, you're going to be paying DistroKid $1 a month for them to do all the back-end legal work and all that kind of stuff. And B, you can be paying 9.1 cents per every song sold, because that 9.1 cents is going to go to the original artist who created that song.